guys, Oscar here, and welcome back to a new Minecraft video. And I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes, and I am trying to get better. But today, no, the title was not clickbait. I'm going to be showing you guys how to build a sugarcane farm that gives you a shulker box of sugarcane it's a little bit over a minute. If my math is right, it's 1 minute, 16 seconds, and 16.8 seconds. So yeah, by the end of this video, you guys will be able to make your own farm like this, and it doesn't have to be this big. It can be scalable in several different degrees. And yeah, let's get this into this video so you guys can keep flying on your elytra forever. So now that we're in a new world where we can actually show you how this farm is built, let's get right into it. I have command blocks here so that I can show you guys without having to wait forever how this farm will work. So I can set that to normal ticks, I can set that to really fast growth for the sugarcane. But yeah, our entire farm is built on this module here. And the whole premise of it is that this block will stay hydrated even though there's water still flowing down, which is a really cool feature that I wish I had discovered sooner. And you see here, we got one block of sugarcane, and if we hit this button with the very fancy barrier block, see, we get one piece of sugarcane, which is really cool. And I'm getting some lag. It stinks. Oh, well, yeah. So, but this isn't a very good farm, right? You know, even if this thing harvests every 4 minutes or so, that's one sugarcane maybe every 4 minutes. But either way, you're going to want to know how to build this. So let's get right into that. Alright, so the way you're going to want to start building this is, I like starting with the ice sheet. So you want to just build a block here, go out 3, and then build one grass block about right there. And next you want to build up your structure for the harvesting system. So you go there to hold the, not really hold, but it looks like it's holding the piston that'll actually do the harvesting. After that, that's when I like to do glass with more lag. And you go up like this, put one on top. That's very important, by the way. It's actually, it basically doubles the efficiency of the farm, because otherwise this top sugarcane will fall on the piston and then fall land right there, and then it'll stack with all the other sugarcane for a long time. And sorry, someone just knocked on my door, I thought. And then you just want to complete it on the other side, and there's your first layer of glass. And you go here, just go all the way to the top, and then once again down there, and then you want to just build this out one more block. And that's all your glass that you're going to need for now, because actually I forgot about this part. And boom, you should have a little square right here, which is pretty nice. And then to stop the water from flowing, obviously you're going to want a pressure plate. Next you want to put in your water, or I mean, it doesn't really matter the order you can do it, or you can just put in redstone right there, but I like doing the water first. And then after you got the water, get yourself a sugarcane, go down here. This is the most tedious part, by the way, especially in survival, is putting those blocks in. But it doesn't work unless you already have the water in, so it's kind of a shame. Then you just want to cap the top. And boom, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that should be your whole module right there. Your whole little non-efficient farm. So, how do you make a farm more efficient? Well, I mean, you can obviously make some design changes, like, for example, having that one glass block in there. But a really easy way to make your farm more productive is extend it out. So, if you want to build this farm, keep right with me. Alright, so now that you've gotten your materials off camera, like I would, no, actually probably not, but after you've done that, you want to just extend the same thing out. You just make your ice sheet this long, go all the way out here, you build all that, and I do not know where this lag is coming from, I'm sorry, probably that I'm recording, but I should get a better PC, but I don't have the money for it, so I'll just have to save up. In the meantime, you'll just have to bear with me. And yep, this is really familiar to this one, as you notice. You're really just stacking it this way. But you do that, you make your little assembly there. If you can learn to click, do that. What I like to do is just extend all this out, and then put the pistons and redstone in. And I built that exactly wrong. I wanted to make it so that I could reach across there, but oh well. It's alright. And then we go down here, pistons. This is also a pretty tedious part. Go through here, get some redstone in, and then now you're ready for your glass. So you go here, go 2 up, across the sea lanterns, or you can use any. These sea lanterns are important so that your sugarcane will still grow at night. But you can really use glowstone. You can use redstone lamps if you're really feeling fancy and know how to wire it up somehow. And yeah, so that's your first layer of glass. You go up here. This time you just build all the way up to line up with this top layer. This is the easier one. And then you just want to extend these out, and then one more layer across here, and then you want to build this up all the way this way, which is also very tedious when you have the full module farms. And then you want your water. I might have put a source block there. Yep, I did. Darn it. Don't want that. There we go. That should be fixed up. And then you go here, trade that out for sugarcane. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't know why I made it 6. I tried to make it 5, but it looks like I can't count. And then you want these, especially so that, for one thing, less mobs get in, and then also just so that it looks nice. And mobs will spawn sometimes because this is grass. Every now and then you'll get a passive mob, and but that's a problem that we will solve. Don't worry. And then that's still just an extension of this part. You want like a whole module. That's this thing. That's what we're doing next. So I'm not going to break clips for this one. Or I will probably, but for now I'm not going to. So you just do this to start out. Make your whole platform like this. Now I actually did forget to mention though that this will be 15 blocks long, not more, or not less, preferably, but especially not more. You'll find out why pretty soon with this. But yeah, this should be 15 blocks long. But after you build your ice, then you want to build your first layer of grass blocks, similar to that, and then just build up your pattern again. See, so this is why it's a scalar design, is that you can extend it out this way, you can extend it out up, and then you can extend it out just a number of these modules built. So really, if you obviously probably won't need a shulker box of sugarcane in a minute, but if you do, that's fine. It's always good to have a lot of things. Not always. It's usually good to have a lot of things, but it's a very scalar design. So you can make these shorter, you can make it only 2 layers tall, you can make it 4 layers tall, you can make 5, 6. You can go on to the block limit if you want to completely crash your world with entities. But after you've made this first layer, this is where you want to just make another layer of grass right here. I'm assuming you know how to place grass like this, and then you want to just repeat this pattern for 3 layers of grass. I'll let you guys do that on your own. So if you can see in the chat, my Bandicam had some issues, and it looks like that affected Minecraft, but anyway, that doesn't matter anymore. We're back. And once you've built your 3 layers, you should have a frame that looks like this. And this is one I like to place in my pistons and my redstone, which in survival mode I'm sure is terrible. I'm sorry, but that's the price for having a lot of sugarcane. Just because, you know, you have to build up to this, and then building up to the redstone, that just seems really hard if you don't have elytra. But if you don't have elytra, then again, why are you building this farm, right? So, yeah, you just do this with the pistons, and then I'm sure you can know how to do this already. Just place your redstone in like that. It's very simple redstone, but it works. That's what matters. Once you place in your redstone, put in your pressure plates, because I forgot to do that. But yeah, once you put in your pressure plates, after that you want to start with the glass. Now this is where it gets a little bit different now that you've got more than one. Now that you have more than one layer, but it's still the same idea. Don't worry. You just go here, go up 2 blocks, go right here, and I used to always build it with the corners. So later on with my original farm, if you see there's corners, you can always put corners in there. I just did that as an effort to not use crazy amounts of glass, because this final product, it does use a lot of resources. It uses lots of hoppers, it uses lots of glass, lots of ice, you name it. Like each of these pistons, like, so this is 45 pistons here, and there are 3 of these. No, yeah, there are 6 of these modules per like super module, and there are 10 super modules in the farm that we built. So like, yeah, there's a lot of resources in this, but if you're willing to put those in, you'll get rewarded really handsomely. So yeah, and then you go here, and then you just build up here again all the way. You go to the other side. This also gets really tedious if you're building really big modules, having to do this like 4 times a module. That's why it took me so long to get out this get this video out, because you want to place this glass in. But you want to, because like I had the idea for it, and then just building out my idea to make sure it worked just took so long. And then I had homework, and then I had stuff with friends. Like, yeah, it's hard in high school to maintain a YouTube channel on your own. But you know what? It's all right. That's why I love doing this. It's all right. So I like to do, but yeah. Anyway, placing glass in, I like to do what I like to call pathing. You don't have to do it this way, but I just kind of like tracing your path with glass, and then it makes it's a little bit more entertaining than just, unless you break it. It's a little bit more entertaining than just placing in the glass, and it feels like it goes faster because of that, but, you know, it doesn't really, I don't think. So you place your glass in however you want. Alright, so once you've done that, now you know what it's time for. It's time for the water. So you go along here. If you're in survival, you'd like walk along here, and you just make sure there's a source block for every single top block here. If you don't have a source block, things might get a little bit annoying. You might have some trouble actually getting your water to work. Like, I was really lucky that I managed to just figure that out right there with that other one. But yeah, you might not be so lucky to have one like that, because it might create a lot of source blocks. It could just be really bad. But here's the really hard part in survival mode: is walking along like this, trying to place all the sugarcane plants. Yeah, this is just, yeah, there's no easy way to do it. It's hard. But I'll let you guys do that anyway. Yeah, by the way, you can always start this farm without these things fully completed. You can use like the harvest of this farm and then go back in swimming in there and finish this farm. So essentially you only really need one sugarcane plant to start this farm, but that will take a long time. But you do it however you want. It's your world. I will not tell you how to do things unless you want to build this farm correctly, in which case you should listen to me. But then you should do this, which just makes things look cool. It also helps if there's ever mobs on top that they don't fly in. Just, yeah, it's better all around. And now for the final part. This is where things start to get a little bit different from the other... sorry, I was scratching my arm. That's why I was spazzing out there. But yeah, so this is where things start to get a little bit different from these little preliminary designs. Is that now we need to power three rows of sugarcane. Yeah. So once you get your resources, which is this, I will have a I will give a complete resource list in the beginning and the description of this video, because I forgot to do that, which is not a good move, but it's okay. Once again, it'll be alright. So, how do you want to start this circuit? Is just go in, place one more block for all three of these, which is hard in survival, I bet, but there's other ways you can build it. You go here, and then notice 15 blocks. What did I tell you? If you do 16, you will not have that, unless you want to build some other circuitry, which you could, but that would make it all desynced and stuff. It just would be good. But yeah, to power this thing, what you want to do is get a block. So you take the block with your redstone, go down, have one block space, and then one more down. So however many that is, I don't know, that's how I think. But yeah, you do that. Place a torch, place a block that should be in line with this. Place a torch, place a block, place a torch, place a block, place a torch, and I'm not done. Place a block, place a torch, place a block, place a torch, and you should be done. Now, none of your pistons should be extended. If they are, then you are off by one. So I'll assume you probably need to build the one down here, because otherwise they'll just be extended all the time, and then when the timer goes off, it'll just retract and extend again, which does not make for a very efficient farm. But like I said before, this is one module of the farm, right? Well, what does the 4 module one look like? I don't know why I said 6. I always thought it was 6. This is what the full module farm looks like, with the clock and everything. And as you can tell, it's pretty efficient. This is without a collection system or anything. Let's see how many are just right here. Yeah, stacking 30 in that one little area. Like, yeah, I told you guys, this is an efficient farm. I'm assuming that's the block. Is that the block that I broke? I don't think it is. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, this is the full farm. You can see that there's the clock. That's actually a video from Exumavoid on how to make this clock. I will link that in the description. And this clock is what makes this thing run. I did some research on how much sugarcane will grow, and so I'll tell you guys. I'll explain all that when we get there. But this clock should be almost the most efficient. I'm not that well versed with Minecraft mechanics, but it should be pretty efficient. And like I said before, shulker box a minute. That's pretty efficient. But yeah, you'll see how this output block of the clock. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Oh, we'll get to that actually with the rabbit dying. You can see with the lag, look at all that sugarcane. It's pretty cool, right? Now, yeah, obviously, this is actually going to get solved, because that kills the efficiency of the farm. But that gets solved, don't worry. And you can see how this all works. And I will catch you guys in the next one explaining how all of that works, including the storage system, including all of that. You guys will be able to build this by the end. So, welcome to my testing world, and you'll notice that, this is not my full testing world, this is the one I used for this farm, and you will notice that these are very different from what I was just showing you guys, and that's because this is my first design. And well, it's not my very first, but it was my original, like, that was my first thing to do. And you can see here, this is my first storage system. This is not at all where we're going with this, especially since you can see contaminants and stuff in here, and all that. But yeah, this is my first 25 shulker boxes of sugarcane. I put those there, which is kind of cool. And you'll notice it's really laggy. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. These farms, like I said, they create a lot of entities. And yeah, you'll notice I took the water out of theoretically all of them. That's just an attempt to reduce lag. It's not very effective, but it's a little bit better than it usually is. It's also harder because I'm recording, and that always just demands more system resources. But yeah, you'll see here, this is my very first sort of attempt at making the farm. And I noticed it was efficient, but for its size, it wasn't efficient at all. And I realized, look at all this ice that we don't need. So I squashed it down to, I think it was it was a 13 block wide footprint. And now I can fit 10 of these in the space that that usually took 4. So it's a lot more efficient that way. And now I'm assuming you guys will be able to make make one of these modules on your own, judging from because of the last clip that I did. And you'll see. And if you want to make another one of these, what I do is I always start by extending this out 1 block, extending that out 1 block, and then putting a hopper down 1 block with a single rail. Well, used to be a rail and a hopper minecart with the block. And that will be your first collection system, and we will talk about all of this. And yeah, that'll be your first, like that's your link there, and then you want to build that 1 block and then build the second module there. And then on the other side, you will want to build 1 block further down and then build the same thing on the other side, and then build all of this over here. And you'll notice, yeah, just 1 full thing here, 1 pressure plate at the end, and then just 1 in there. And then that will be your collection system for the most part. It's not your full collection system because we get to that one next. And don't worry, I'm going to demo all of these, like over there somewhere. But right now I'm just showing you guys the whole shebang. And yeah, there's a dropper system here. I'm sure a lot of you could probably figure this out already on how this works. But there's a dropper system for when items flow in. It goes through here, and because hoppers are slow as heck, I use water streams and elevators to get into the storage system, which we will get to, and it looks like it is broken, which is not good. Don't know why. That's very weird. I'll fix that off camera. But yeah, we will get to all that in a bit. So this first really little piece that you want to do is this dropper system here, which if you have a water stream under it will obviously, or through here, or wherever you want to put it, that will obviously put the sugarcane out into something other than hoppers, because hoppers are laggy, and they're more laggy than entities, and they're really slow. Like, they would overflow so fast, and then the entities would pile up, and then you'd probably crash your world. So this is a very important little circuit here. But what you want to do is place 1 block above your, here, I'll build it over here so you guys can see. But you want to place 1 block above your ground, or your water stream. You want to place a downward facing dropper. After that, you want to build up a little bit of a ring like this, which I'm sure, as you probably guessed, will trigger it to fire as soon as an item gets in there. So I mean, it's not the fastest circuit. There are definitely faster circuits out there, but it works totally fine for what we need it for. Then we go up here, and we go 1, 2, 3. Oh, jeez, lag. 1, 2, 3. Go up 1, go up 1, go up 1. And that's the first little component of your collection system. Oh, and this is also a good way to start your build. That's how I built the first one of these modules, and then built a water stream around it, and then the rest of them I just mirrored off of here. I just copied that down there, put that all there, and then I just built this entire module of farm. I built that whole thing off of this little piece right here. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have built that at that point, and I will show you the next step in a second. So this long piece that's the next part of the collection circuit. So oh, and by the way, you're gonna have to line this next block up here. That will be ice. If you need a reference, that will be your ice sheet, your lower ice sheet. Let me specify. It'll be this sheet right here. So if you're building this underneath, that should be your reference. I will put a little thing on the front of the other one, in front of the the front of this video, telling you that reference is there. And yeah, if you're here from that little link, you can go right back if you need to, or you can just judge it off here. You do you. But anyway, building this. Right, that's what this video is about. Is that. And I think that's it. Yeah. Alright, so to build this, you want to start by putting a single block of redstone on that side and that side. This will power your rails, but it won't power any of these hoppers, which is really key. Next, you want to build out 13 blocks with whatever your building block is for the track. 13 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then you're going to want a downward facing hopper, actually. There, 13, 14, 15, and then a stopper block. Nope, that's not it. There it is. And then you want to go on this side and just connect your hopper line. This is a pretty hopper intensive build, but it's actually not that bad compared to some, so I'm pretty proud of it. And I apparently don't know how to build with hoppers. There we go. And then after that, you want to build out with not powered rails like I thought, because I don't know how to build my own farm apparently. You want to build out like that with your two concretes or whatever you're using, and then just build up here. This is the rail that the collection minecart over there is going to be sitting on. Fun fact. And then you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one at the end with powered rails, and then just fill in the whole thing with your regular rails, and then repeat the same thing on the other side, and we'll get to the next part. See you then. So I'm going to assume that you guys built your other half there, because this actually really, if you don't have this part there, that will kill your efficiency. I remember when I didn't accidentally didn't put in the minecarts when I was still testing, and I thought my efficiency had like dropped in half, and it was actually, and I kind of freaked out. But then I realized I didn't have minecarts, and then I put those in, and instantly, like, I had so much more efficiency. Because the reason why is on these pressure plates, items will stack, and then basically this entire part of the farm is just gone, which is not good. Same with this one here. It won't stack as many items, but they will stack items, and then you don't have those items, which is not good. So you can see for a second, items will get stuck on there. Apparently not this one, but items from these two rows, they will get stuck right there. And then, like I said, the stack, and you don't want that. So these minecarts are very important. But yeah, that's not what we're here for. We're here for this little circuit at the end here, which if I use to shift click or middle click my resources from, I'll show you guys how to build. This is basically the circuit that lets the minecart stop and then offload all its stuff to be put into the dropper system, as you can see demonstrated right there. And yeah, Mom's yelling at my cat. This is fun. But anyway, so how do you want to build this? You want to go down one block like that, making a little bit of an X pattern, except for this one here. Then you want a redstone torch there, powering that block, a comparator here, and then a repeater here. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my voice. I've been talking a lot. That's why I'm a little bit dry, I guess. Is that how you call it? I don't know, that's kind of weird. Either way, you know what I'm trying to say. And if you repeat it on this side, because apparently I don't know how to like build that and then show you guys how to build it, which is not very good YouTubing on my part. Yeah, you can just build it like that. Once again, repeat it on the other side, and we'll be good to go. So this is the final part of our collection system, and oh, except for the minecarts. Those I'm sure you can place them on your own. There we go. Cause some more lag for you guys. But yeah, so what you want to do to start is take this main hopper here and put rails on it, and then put ice on either side. These will be the end pieces, and then your ice sheets will start here for the collection system, just for reference once again. And then pressure plates so that water doesn't flow in here and mess things up. And then you want to place your minecart with a hopper, and then your single block. And then you want to take a piston, go up 2 blocks. I'm sure you know what I'm going to do. And then just push that piston down into that minecart. And apparently it didn't work. Alright, thank you, game. Don't know why that didn't happen. Oh, that's why, because I don't know how to play the game. You want to break those rails, and then boom. Should work. Now, it's hard to see in that one, but there's a minecart in there too. And this minecart is what will collect your sugarcane. And it does it very fast. It actually does it really fast, which is cool on hopper minecarts. But unfortunately, these ones don't. And that's your entire collection system. And to build off from there, you know, you've got your, this is where you've got the whole sheet, and then here is where your farm will go. Makes sense, right? Which is pretty cool. And these minecarts are just one block below it, so they'll pick stuff up off the track. It's a good system. It's pretty cool. But I'm gonna break all that just for simplicity's sake, and then I'll show you guys how to build this circuit here, this timing circuit. And then, believe it or not, or no, we won't be done. Thought we'd be done. We're not. This is gonna be a long tutorial. Then I'll show you how to build those timing circuits. Catch you guys in a second. Alright, so this is the first little part of it. This is it's not really a timing circuit, but I felt like it was a part of it. Also, I'm in this world just because it's a lot quieter, more peaceful, it's less lag, it's better all around. And yeah, so the way you want to build this is, so assume you've got your minecart and your ice here. I would start with the glass personally. You go here, you leave a you leave a space for your items to flow through, and then build up here. That way they don't go anywhere else. And then my mom's, I don't know, she's doing something with Siri, I think. Don't know if you guys can hear that. Alright, we do that, and then you link it up this way. It looks really cool, actually. I like it a lot. And then you build up one, go here, and you've got yourself an input for your timer circuit. And then once you guys have built that all up, feel free to rewind the video if you have to. If I went too fast, I will show you how to build the actual timing circuit. Alright, so once you build this little piece, now it's time for the actual clock. So first things I like to do is just make a little button here. This is actually a manual harvest because it'll send a pulse through just as the clock will. And that's just a simple little thing. You don't really need it, but I like to have it just because controls are cool. And then apparently I don't have gray concrete in my inventory for some reason, but you will want to go over here and just build a torch so that this is powered. Don't worry, it's not going to stay powered once the clock starts working. These pistons will retract and stuff. But it won't for now. That's alright. You go here, and you build another one powered by the first one, which is pretty cool. And then you build your first sticky piston, and then I like to use that as a reference just for the second sticky piston. And a redstone block, you can go on either one of these, it doesn't really matter. And then you go down here, and then this is the actual hopper, or these are the actual these are the actual hoppers that will be doing the time work. And you go here, and you do the same torch that was placed in that first one. And then you go here. In theory, if I learned how to click there, and it should retract. Then you want to go 2 more blocks down. Not 2, 1 block. I'm going to go 1 block down, and then you just place in your comparators. That will do the controlling. And once you've done that, that's when you want to get yourself 2 stacks and 44 Redstone Dust. Or you can use whatever item as long as it's not stackable. But you want 2 stacks and 44 Redstone items. Because if my math is right, that means this will be exactly 4 minutes. Which, if my research is right, that'll be the prime time for harvesting. Because the most will grow, but there won't be that much time that they stay grown, which is pretty cool. And so in theory, and then eventually when this clicks over, you get a pulse like that. Not quite that long, you get a little bit of a pulse. And then that's where the next part of this comes in. Alright, so if you've been paying attention, this little part might look a little bit familiar. But if it's not, that's alright. But it'll make sense in a second. So the first thing you want to do is build a redstone torch. I have 2 here to show that it'll go both ways. I just didn't want to run into this. So you want to repeat this exact process for the other side. But you want to start with a redstone torch, do a space, which will conveniently be on this cool little block here. And then 2 blocks here with redstone dust on top. 1 more redstone torch, and then you want to do 1 over, you want to do a redstone repeater. And then into the supposedly familiar piece of redstone. I'll show you guys how to build this here in a second. And so you want to go redstone torch, 2 blocks, redstone torch, and then repeater to a block with the torch on top. And that's you just saw I don't know if you saw it, but you saw the piston move there, and that shows that our farm is working. That's half of a cycle. And then when it goes through again, that should have been 4 minutes. So 2 minutes have passed since you guys saw me put that in, which is pretty cool. Hopefully not 2 minutes of video. This will be a really long tutorial otherwise. But yeah, that's our next part. Alright, so this is where the part of it sounding familiar really goes into play. Because that looks a lot like this, doesn't it? Because this is our last part of our timing circuit, and except for the storage system, we're done with the farm. But the way you want to build this is you want to go here. This is your first torch, and then build up, torch, build up. I don't think you guys need this, but I'm still going to do it anyway. It's pretty simple. Go here, build up, and then you should be in line with your 2 repeaters. But if you're not, you built something wrong, I'm sorry to tell you. But you could probably fix it or just rebuild it, whichever. Because there's definitely things you can do to just sort of patch the problem. Like, yeah, it's not the end of the world, but definitely, like, it's better if it works, obviously. So yeah, that will be almost, like, all of the farm part of the farm done. Now all we need to do is the storage system, which we'll pop back into my other world for. Right, so, like we talked about before, we got this dropper system, right? This one over there. And, well, it has to drop into something, right? So I like to make this 3-wide ice stream just because it looks a lot bigger, and it looks a lot cooler. And then what I do is that once I built all my modules here, or I usually, what I did here for this is I built all my ice streams, which I should prepare for this. So it's like ice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, with ice being the 10th one. So if you want to build this 3-wide one, start at the middle, center it, obviously. And then build this, you can space those evenly like that, and then I'm sure you can figure out how to line it up with this. But in case you were wondering how I did it, I lined it up with this hopper right here. You can line it up both like this. You can do it however, really, just as long as it's really not. Well, it doesn't even have to be, but yeah. Either way, you can line it up wherever. If you're really good at building them yourself, I would recommend doing that. But yeah, once you build those, and you can use this little bit of circuitry here. This is just a little bit of like for shulker box restocking. I just have this so that when this double chest is out, I just made it so that this light will turn on. It's not really needed, but it's a good addition to have. And you throw your sugarcane that you accidentally picked up back in the system. And that's not a necessity, but I like it. And then you just want to run that all into some hoppers. And this is the way that it kind of worked for me. Is I just had a sign there for every one of these because it wasn't a very good, well-built storage system. But as you can tell, it's a pretty beefy storage system. Like I've got all that for that one loader, and then I've got all of these for the second one. And I might maybe have one. Nah, like I said, that one doesn't get much attention. But yeah, and that's how you build a shulker box a minute sugarcane farm. Now the one shulker box of sugarcane a minute, that is this entire 10 module thing. It's not going to be, if you make one of these modules, it's obviously not going to be that much, but they're still it's pretty effective if you want some sugarcane. But yeah, that rounds out this video, and kind of cramped space here, should have thought that out. With sugarcane falling behind us, I declare that this video has ended. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked it, and thank you once again. Stay tuned for new updates, or for new videos. I am making them. It just takes a long time sometimes. And yeah, I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Bye.